Okay, that should be it.
How many bars is that?
Yeah. We're at 120 BPM. Okay, so yes, quick introduction. Welcome to Seven Sisters Podcast, or the Pubcast, sorry. I'm Paul. Today we've got Moose that's joining me in the, not the studio, it's the pub itself. This is where we're recording our Pubcast. A few little things that we haven't mentioned in the previous episodes. We're in Toulouse, France. We're in a pub, Seven Sisters, in the centre of Toulouse. And this Pubcast is just going to be that sort of thing, you know, a couple of people, a couple of friends hanging out, having a chat. Mm-hmm. And more importantly, having a little bev. We've got a couple of Brooklyn brewery.
Are we sponsored?
We're not sponsored.
Don't mention them.
So
no, man. Where the money at? Come on.
Other beers are available.
We're having unlabeled beers,
Yeah.
non-alcoholic beverages. That's
Non-alcoholic beverages, yeah.
Cheers.
It is very nice. But yeah, so today joining me is Moose. We've known each other for a little while now, haven't we? I think.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Been a little while. You've lived in Toulouse for how long?
Way too long.
Too long. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. That'll be 15 years now.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's a
Can
lot.
we curse?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right, cool.
Well,
Because I'm going to curse. I'm Spanish, man.
You see, we had this conversation last time. Well, Sean and Alan had the conversation on the first episode talking about how are we going to censor each other.
Uh-huh.
But I swear a lot, so...
Yeah. Are you going to put like some old school, you know when we used to watch music videos and you will listen, I don't know, Limp Bizkit and shit like that.
Yeah.
You will listen to like to a scratch or something.
Well, this was the exact conversation that Alan and Shawnee had in the first episode.
I saw the episode
about the censorship. But no, we're not gonna bleep anything out. We're gonna swear. We're gonna say whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
And just
we're
crack
not
on
gonna
with that.
overdo it though. I mean, it's just
No.
come natural. That's what I'm saying.
No.
So if you have kids, hide them kids. I don't know, or something.
Yeah, but I will say this though. There's I remember seeing a TV show. It was Stephen Fry, who is a national treasure in the UK, and I think he's pretty well known around the world. But he was in a conversation with a TV producer or TV writer called Armando Iannucci. Okay. Who writes a few political satire type programs. He wrote Veep. Veep is the one you might know. It's like on HBO.
Yeah. With what's her name from? No, it wasn't
from
Seinfeld.
Yeah,
Seinfeld. Yeah,
she's in it. But yeah, he said something like, when it comes to swear. When it comes to swear, was that a Seinfeld thing?
No, yeah, she was dancing like, oh, you don't know that?
Yeah, don't say that.
Roll the clip. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we can. We'll edit. We'll cut something in. We'll cut. What's her name in? Yeah, Dreyfus. Something Dreyfus, isn't it?
Yeah. Samantha, something.
Julie Dreyfus. Something like
Julie
that.
something.
I'm not sure. I still haven't seen Seinfeld. I've been told that I need to.
No. Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on. Stop.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know if it's aged well though. But I mean, I don't know if I have ever seen the whole show though.
I think it might be. I'm not sure if it's going to be one of those things that if you weren't there at the time, if you watch it now, it won't be the same. Much like kind of nostalgic films. Like I remember someone said to me, "Watch Hook." You know, Dustin Hoffman as Hook and Robin Williams as Peter Pan. Someone's like, "Oh my god, that film's amazing."
Yeah.
I'd never seen it as a kid. And if you watch that for the first time as like a 30-year-old, you're
have
like...
you watched it?
Eh.
Have you watched it nowadays?
I have, yeah. And my reaction was very much, yeah.
So hold on. Are we really going to get into this? Because, we could go along with this subject. Because I've been watching some old school TV shows.
Oh, yeah.
And wondering, have they aged well?
There are certain ones that do age extremely well. Extremely well. I can't think of any right now.
I'm watching. I'm watching Desperate Housewives right now. Yeah, okay. You laugh, but I mean, it's so that I forgot how fucked up that TV show is.
Okay.
Everybody's fucking wicked, doing the dumbest, the craziest shit.
Yeah.
I do not understand how crazy it is. It's just nuts. Everybody doing dirt. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, no, what I was going to say was about the swearing thing. Is that Stephen Fry said, Stephen Fry is a very intelligent man. Yeah. And he said a lot of his friends, he said the most intelligent amongst his friends are the ones who swear the most. Because a lot of people will say that if you swear, it shows a lack of vocabulary and you're just throwing fuck in there because you can't think of anything better to say. But he was saying that all of his most intelligent friends will swear the most.
Okay.
And he made a good point. Like in TV, when he was talking to Armando Iannucci, there's a massive difference between when someone says, "What are you doing?" and then someone says, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, see, there's
Huge
nuances.
difference.
There's nuances.
Huge difference.
It's like. I mean, you can see many videos of this, like people telling how black people talk, and they're like, "Girl, girl, girl, girl." There's always the intonation. It's just like Chinese. There's different accents for different words and different pronunciations. So
there was you just reminded me of a fantastic Bill Burr clip. You're aware of Bill Burr, the comedian? He talks about how white people put the curse word in a different set place in a sentence to a black person.
Okay.
Which makes... So if a black person says, so this Korean motherfucker came in, and you're thinking, oh, so what is this Korean motherfucker up to? Do you know what I mean? And then a white guy would say, this fucking Korean guy came in. And then suddenly it's racist. Like, what the fuck? Hang on, whoa, what's this guy? Calm down, Hitler. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking it's great. It's such a good point as well.
I wasn't the one making it racist or racial. See? Just for the viewers.
Yeah.
For those who know me. Just saying.
Yeah.
I wasn't the one making it racial, but it's what was funny. It's really funny.
It's a very good point. Bill Burr, obviously.
That Korean motherfucker doing?
Yeah,
you're right.
Just move it just a slightly the other side of the adjective or the verb, whatever, and you've got a completely different connotation. But yeah, I'd like to talk about music with you though, Moose, because that's where we bond mostly around music and DJing. When I first met you, you were going. I mean, I guess you're still going by the name of Beat Jangles.
I still am.
Still on the ones and twos now and then. Yeah,
I'm back actually. Like I was DJing recently. Well, since we're in Toulouse, in the south of France, for those who don't know what it is. I was at this expo. This what's the word? Expo?
I guess it is expo. Yeah.
Called Mr. Freeze that is going on right now, and they're doing it in like an old firehouse. Well, it's not an old firehouse. It is a firehouse near François Verdier.
Yeah.
And I was DJing there, and it was pretty cool. Yeah. Back on my ones and twos.
Yeah, what are you using? You're using...
Are we gonna get into gear? Because this is gonna go really nerdy.
We're getting nerdy. We're getting technical.
Yeah.
The first episode, Alan and Shawnee went nerdy on the computer games.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was worried about, because I didn't want to get into it. You know what I mean?
I want to get into it.
Because if we're talking about music and shit, because I would have brought my sampler and shit and showed you how...
We could have done a live gig. It could have been a live show rather than just two of us chatting. That would have been...
Let's not. But...
I'll I'm not sure how well that would have gone.
I just bought the most magnificent technology, made in France, by the way, that is called Phase. Not a sponsor, but hey, listen, Phase, if you need to sponsor some shit, I mean, we're out here. So Phase DJ. So it's basically the same technology you will find in a Wiimote. You remember the Wii?
Yep. Yeah.
But for the turntable. So you put them on your vinyl.
Yeah.
And you don't need to put the arm on the vinyl anymore. You just go ahead and scratch and DJ over there. Yeah. And it's crazy. It works perfectly. No vibration. So the signal is perfect on Serato.
Oh, wow.
Because I use Serato. I don't know if you guys know Serato. Serato is basically a technology that came from New Zealand. And basically you use your files, your MP3 WAV files, you use your computer, plug it into your mixer, and use vinyl as you would use vinyl, so it's basically perfect for those who still scratch or.
Yeah, it's because it's very much about the feel, isn't it, for DJs
and the control.
Sort of sense.
And it's not only feel, because when you say feel, well, yeah, you can say the touch and everything, but it's also how you control the music.
Yeah.
So I remember back when I started DJing with one of the first controllers that were out there, Hercules, not a sponsor. Listen, we're out here. I mean, just say the word.
Moose is fishing for some sponsorship here, so if anyone's out there, the guy's good. The guy's a good DJ.
I wish this non-alcoholic beer was our sponsor. I'm just saying.
Yeah. We're looking for anything we can get our hands on, really.
Cheers.
Any kind of sponsorship.
Listen, there we go. So yeah,
one of my favorite things that I learned about you when you DJ'd, because I remember there was a time a few years ago where there was a Fête de la Musique in France. You have Jesus.
Well,
God,
it's
what
a
day
European.
is that?
21st of June is to welcome the summer.
So they just have, in general, I guess in France, they just have music all around. Like on the 21st of June, you can have music, live music out on the streets, and there's no. The law says that you can make as much noise as you want until a lot later in the evening. It's it's a kind of festival of music or whatever.
It's a European quote unquote. It's supposed to be a European day.
Okay. I thought it was just French.
It started in France.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you DJ'd that time, and I remember you saying that you don't ever have a DJ set. You don't have you don't go into a gig with with your track list already sorted out. You just vibe off of the audience.
Yeah.
And I love that. There's no way that I could do that. I don't think. I don't think I have the musical knowledge to be like what track is going to come up next that's going to work perfectly, and then just grab it because you were going from. You'd go from UK garage to Supergrass or something crazy, that sort of crazy shit. Maybe not that mental, but yeah. But
I don't have Supergrass on my Serato, but it could be like that.
Some Supergrass in.
We are Is that
that is? Yeah. I can't remember what the song's
I know my
called
shit.
now. Yeah.
Well, actually, let me tell you a story about that. So when I started DJing again, like I was saying, I was using a controller back in the day. So it was basically a software-based mixer, whatever. I was using Virtual DJ that back when I was in Madrid, because I'm from Madrid originally. And the thing is that I used to mix electronic music mainly because it was easier on the controllers. And that's why when I turned to turntables, because you can touch quote unquote the music, you can you know what I mean. You cannot do it if you don't have the drive of the disc, of the vinyl, and you cannot really control. You see,
that's what I was talking about with the feel earlier. Because I dabbled a little bit as well with DJing, and one thing that I always thought
we need to do something sometime.
Let's do it.
Just saying.
The one thing that I always said to anyone who was asking how to beat mix, the most difficult thing for me was if you've got two songs that you're trying to beat match. If they're slightly out of sync, it's knowing which one's going faster than the other one. Because that can be quite difficult to tell. Because if you slow the wrong one, as you'll know very well, if you've beat matched and you've got the mixer, if you've got the crossfader in the middle, and if you slow down the wrong vinyl or you speed up the wrong one, suddenly it's going to go all out of sync.
Exactly.
And you're fucked. and the mix is ruined.
And it's easier to do it with proper turntables.
With the turntables, yeah.
Sorry. So the story is that... So when I was DJing for the first time, in a gig, in front of people and everything, I prepared my whole set. Yeah. And I was like, shit, this is going to be super dope. And then I'm going to play this and everybody's going to like it because I know this shit is the best shit ever. But that was the worst thing I could do ever. Yeah. Prepare my mix first and come in if people don't feel you and you're out here thinking because you said 15 minutes in, I'm going to play this, everybody's going to go crazy. That's not how it works at all.
It's a very good point.
That's not how it works at all.
It makes perfect sense now you say it like that,
Because just imagine a party. This is how I feel about music and how I see my DJ sets. When I'm out here playing music, it's like when I see you and I'm like, Paul, you need to listen to this track right now. Yeah. This is the excitement. We're like, you're gonna love this shit. You have to check that out. That's my thing. And when people look at you like, shit, damn, what? How? Or they pick up their phones and they're like Shazamming shit. That's the best thing you could.
I love that. That's what I've been saying about here at the pub as well, because I like to put on some music. I have a lot of playlists that I like to play at the pub here. And, we put on some classics. If the party's going, if it's like a Friday or Saturday night and there's a lot of people and people haven't got a few drinks in them, you don't want to put any kind of underground, relatively unknown shit. You want to put your Britney Spears and your Justin Timberlakes on. But I like to put on some stuff that maybe people haven't heard of. And I like it when people come to the bar and like, oh my God, what's this tune? Or you see people, like you say, you see people with Shazam out. You're like, oh, no, cool. They're feeling my playlist. I like it.
Listen, to go back to the story that I was telling you about, and because it has a lot to do with what you're saying right now, is that when I'm DJing and so the whole thing is that, so I did that gig with my whole set prepared and shit, and it was trash. Yeah. Well, it wasn't trash. It was cool. There was great songs and shit, but it wasn't like exciting. Everybody wasn't like, oh, I know what you were trying to do. Like, this is not how it works. Yeah. When you're DJing, people are looking at you, and they're like, you have to be. There's a lot of psychology that gets into DJing, and people don't know. They just think like if you play the best records, that's it. Yeah. Like, if you see the mood is pretty chill, you can still play amazing tunes, but you just play accordingly. If I'm out here playing, I don't know, Smack My Bitch Up when everybody's like doing the apéro and shit, like what are we doing?
It's
you know
what I mean? So, it's just Who Let the Dogs Out comes on, and people are like eating their prawn cocktail.
Exactly.
That's not going to work.
Exactly. When you have so much music. And see, to go back to what you were saying, it's also about the knowledge. So we're nerds, we're music nerds, and I'm a huge music nerd. When I say that, like, I know who sampled what, when, what part, and how they flipped it. So I really understand what's going on. And also, again, I try to put myself in the shoes of people. And like, what would I like to listen to while I'm here drinking my non-alcoholic beverage with other brand?
Special Effects, Brooklyn. You know? Other beers are available, but this one is very good.
Not a sponsor yet, but
next time we're gonna wear T-shirts.
But yeah, so the thing is that so when you're out here, like, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. And I want to like really make the party go. Like, when I go in some places, I get frustrated when the music is trash. Yeah. Even though I'm with my friends and everything, I'm like, why are we listening to this right now? Like, this is not. I
was gonna say another thing about DJing in certain places. If you're DJing at a UK garage night, the crowd's gonna be pretty easily. Not easily pleased, but you're going to know exactly what the hell they want to get that crowd going. But the example of that Fête de la Musique, you were on a balcony in the middle of Toulouse. You got all sorts of all walks of life, all walks of life walking past. Yeah, and to please the masses like that. I mean, I guess it's the same as you could say it's the same as DJing at a wedding. In that sense.
Oh no, that's a whole vibe. No. Oh my God, I DJ once in a wedding. I'll never do that again. Yeah, no, this is the worst place to DJ ever.
I can understand. I've never done it, but I would.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
don't. Just don't. But to bounce back on what you were saying. So I was there, but the whole thing to me is, so for me, the DJ, the main important thing about the DJ is to play records people are gonna enjoy, obviously, but also I want to make you discover shit you have never listened to. I guess it's harder and harder nowadays because everything is available. But also I'm trying to play stuff that you would never like. So you were saying how I go from genre to genre, and I could go from, I don't know, salsa to jazz, and from jazz to hip hop, and then to like house music, because there's a lot of things that are in common. But
of course,
going from genre to genre is also a way for me to make you discover stuff, and because people are really mono genre kind of, or the kind of people that says, oh yeah, I listen to a bit of everything. These people, I mean, no hate, but I'm hated.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I was just thinking about any gigs that I've done. I was just remember there was one gig particular. I was quite proud of this. It was the UK Young DJ of the Year competition that I was involved in.
Wow.
I was involved in obviously the preliminary rounds. You kind of like early on, like I think the final was going to be in London somewhere, but I was in Crawley Town. Southeast England, big up Crawley Town.
Represent.
Up the Reds, second in the league at the moment in the football. Not doing too bad. But anyway, that is completely off on a tangent. So I was doing this UK DJ of the Year competition, and I didn't win my round. And I was told by the judge afterwards that my set was too underground. And I was well happy with that. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
So what you're saying is the world isn't ready for me yet? That's essentially what he said.
No, but you see, it's interesting because that was back then.
Yeah, that was like 1990, 98, 99.
But what do you really consider it now underground nowadays, since everything is so available? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I remember I played Boo, Miss Dynamite, Sticky.
That was underground.
God damn. I mean, that's how long ago this was.
I guess it turned out to be a classic now.
Yeah.
So now it's not underground anymore.
No.
But it was underground for back in the day.
That particular moment in time, it hadn't been released. It was like the DJs were playing it. You know, DJ EZ and that's the only garage DJ I can think of at the moment.
Shout out to DJ EZ.
He is the best, and he's a Spurs fan, so we like him. Yeah, like my friend had it on like a test press, whatever they used to call it, white label. So I thought, I'll play that. And the judges were like,
too much bass.
Yeah, way too much bass, too underground.
He
didn't say the world's not ready for you yet, but in my head, that's what he said. The world is not ready for you yet.
Damn, that.
And then my DJ career nosedived from there. I did a lot of 18-year-olds' birthdays, and then
oh my God.
and then that was it. Yeah.
Back to the other type of gigs. I remember doing this wedding, right? So it was for a friend.
I'd like to know about this.
Yeah, I charged like the minimum. It wasn't even like for the money. I could have, because DJs out here are charging like 1,000 euros or more for a wedding.
Wow. Okay.
But I was playing some music and stuff, and so before the wedding, the couple told me, "Oh, you should come by and play some music at our home, so we can grasp a little bit what you play." And they were like, "Oh, we love that. Like, just do you like?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, cool." But it's not about them. It's about all the people that was there that are annoying, fucking drunk.
Yeah.
All the was it best man? The
best man, yeah.
And was the others on the
you've got the
bright side?
bride of honor. Not bride of honor, maid of honor. Sorry,
maid of honors and all the shit. Yo, they put so much pressure into me. I remember I had a 100 euro iTunes card. For those who don't know, I still buy music because you have to.
Yeah.
And support your artists, and particularly your local artists. So I fucking spent those 100 euros in bullshit that were asking me because I didn't have it. And I was plugging my phone trying to download all that shit. Like I had some Madonna. To be fair, I downloaded pretty good music, but at the same time, I was so mad because I was just playing whatever the fuck.
That's the thing with weddings, yeah.
It's just not.
And you probably got a lot of people coming up every 2 seconds asking for requests
and wasted.
as well. And wasted. Because I can remember the last time I was at a wedding, I was that guy.
Oh no! Were you asking for a Sticky featuring Miss Dynamite?
No, I tell you what I asked for, because the DJ he did start playing some UK garage. So I was like, right, what did I ask for? I asked for Antonio Hype Funk.
I don't even know what that is.
Do you know that one?
No.
I'll play it to you afterwards, and I'm gonna maybe see if I can get a little clip into this podcast now for the listeners and viewers at home. And I went over and requested that. I think he played it, but yeah. So I was that guy, drunk out of my head, on my phone, going round the DJ booth, showing my phone, going, "Oh mate, can you play this? Like a dickhead.
Wait, quick question. As a DJ, would you take requests?
No, I wouldn't have.
At all?
When I was... Because if it was in the box, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I was like vinyl.
Yeah, for sure.
Taking a box of vinyl.
Okay,
if it's in the box, then I'll play it, but yeah.
I mean, because I well, I never take requests just because I don't have it. And the gigs that I've done were usually pretty mainstream. Back when I was DJing at this other pub, people will ask me for some shit, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, I don't have Britney Spears. But people will ask me for. But the thing is that this is also about the psychology that I was telling you about, and when you're doing a gig, is that you also have to bounce over those weird encounters and exchanges when someone asks me, "Oh, can you play Britney Spears, please? Oh, it would be awesome, whatever." And I'm like, "Nah, I don't have it. But wait, hold on, I got you." I will just fucking straight up lie and be like, and play a version of a track that they're not expecting, and that is fucking dope. Like my go-to because it always happens. Someone always asks me for Britney Spears.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, I'm gonna play the song "Toxic," but this Mark Ronson version,
Okay.
with a sample of "Old Dirty Bastard" in like a soulful drum, like heavy, like
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard that.
Oh, you should check it out.
I've heard that.
Mark Ronson, "Toxic." Oh, with the I think it's is it the singer from Kazabian who does the singing?
Ooh.
Yeah, some shit like that. I don't remember,
I'm not sure
but
his
yeah,
name
check it
either.
out. Check it out. Check it out.
Oh, yes. Oh, God, what was I going to say? I can't remember now. Oh, yeah, with Britney Spears. There are a couple of Britney Spears classics that you would play, though, right? Like,
Go first. You go first.
Slave for You. Anything produced by the Neptunes. There was Slave for You.
1000%. But what's
Boys.
Slave for You produced by
Oh,
Neptunes?
yeah.
I'm a boom, boom, boom.
It's
boom,
got
boom.
that boom, that bass line that was
Are you
just.
it sounds more like Timbaland to me.
That's
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I'd put money on that. Well, I know for a
Boys.
fact. Boys,
Go Ed remix.
yeah. I'll tell you what. I've been one of my favorite websites at the moment is whosampled.com.
I have the app.
You must. Obviously, he's got the app. I mean, of course he has. I mean, it's fantastic though. I mean, for those of you that don't know, Who Sampled. So if you're listening to, I mean, obviously mainly hip hop, you could say, bit of electronic, use a lot of samples, and you can just type a track into this website, and it will tell you. It will just give you a list of samples or a list of songs where they've lifted samples from, and not only that, they'll give you the
exact
YouTube
time
video and the exact time when where you can find that sample. It's fantastic. Absolutely love it. And like you find out all this shit. And you're like, Jesus Christ! Oh fuck, he sampled that. Or they sampled him.
Producers are so mad about that.
Yeah, I bet they are. All their
I mean,
secrets.
old school producers. To be fair,
Actually, they were saying that there's a rapper that I love. Buck65, he's called. He's a Canadian rapper. Used to really be into him in like the early 2000s. He was in that kind of nerd rap, white boy kind of nerd rap in the early 2000s. But he made a good point.
Rapidy rap.
Yeah. There's a good track of his. I can't remember. Like his lyric is, "Don't ask what my drums are, because I either won't tell you or give you a list of phony records to sell you." Kind of like, you know, I'm not going to tell you where I get my drums from. Are you mental? Like that's my shit. I've been to the record shops. I've been digging for hours and hours and hours. Because even in that lyric as well, in that same song, he says you could spend 10 hours digging and find nothing. And that's why, like, finding that good sample is so rewarding. Yeah, because you're digging and digging and digging, and you're listening to hours and hours of vinyl, and then you could be listening to a vinyl for like a classical music, like a 3-hour vinyl, and there's like halfway through 2 seconds of a violin. You're like, that's it. That's the vinyl. Listen, that's the sample. So I can understand why Who Sampled is so annoying for these rappers, these producers, sorry. Because, like, they spend all this time trying to find the perfect sample, and we can just go like, oh, it's that. I'm going to use that.
And I guess this is the thing that you have to deal with, because you have to adapt, mainly because I guess we are in this era of information, so everything is out there. But the cool thing about sampling as well is how you flip it. And sometimes you can hear samples that have been used by many producers.
Yeah.
But there are some producers that are just way too good. And you know how you listen to a song, but the remix is better than the original song?
Always.
That's how good producers can be.
Yeah.
To make you forget about this other motherfucker that sampled the same shit. That's how good you have to be. So all this information thing it's okay. It's a shame for some reason, because you don't have the mystery anymore. But it also elevates the challenge to, like,
that's a good point. It will separate like the good producers from the great producers. Exactly. Depending on how well you use the sample. A good example of that actually is I was watching a video. I can't remember the guy's name. Hip hop producer. I don't think he was huge. I think he'd got I think he produced a hit back in the day and then didn't do much after that. But there was a clip of him in the studio. He's in front of his keyboard, like, he's in front of his computer.
Scotch Storch?
I don't think it was Scotch Storch, no. And he's going through presets on the keyboard, like kind of like synth sounds. And he comes across one, and then he stops, and then he starts playing it. It's amazing. And I was thinking to myself, I would have skipped straight past that sound. If I was making music, I'd be like, oh no, not that. But because and that's the difference between it, because he found that sound, he's like, oh no, that's good, and then he uses it in such a great way. You're like, okay, well that's why he's sat in that studio, and I'm not.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also, I mean, there's different producers in different instances where it is either genius or just luck or just know how to use. Because if you give the extreme example of Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever you want to call it, P. Diddy Love, I think his name is now.
Oh, he's changed it again, has
he? Yeah. Apparently, his last album is all R&B, is pretty good. But anyway, okay. I'll have to check it out because there's too much music to catch up. So, long story short, you have the producers like Puff Daddy that just take the sample and loop it because his logic was, I'm paying for this shit. I'm going to use the whole track. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. So you like September by Earth, Wind & Fire? I'm going to slow it down and just keep the chorus, and rap some bullshit over it, and that's it.
Nice.
It's a fucking hit. Yeah. And he makes a ton of money. Yeah. Much respect. I'm just, listen, it's business.
It's good work if you can get it.
A good business. And then there's the other nerdy, I don't want to get caught, I'm not paying for this sample, like back in the days type of shit, where you take a sample. I wish I had my sample right here so I can show you. But you take a sample and you make it sound so different that nobody can deny you. And like, unless you've made that track, you wouldn't know it. And even if you made that track, nobody would know like you sampled that shit because of how you flipped it. You cut the sample so thin. Like, there's this amazing video by Questlove. I think it's the Red Bull Academy music, the thing they do yearly all over the world. And he's talking about how J Dilla used to sample.
Oh yeah.
And he would sample. There's this track by Jill Scott Heron called Ain't Got Time to Be Tired, and the he flips the sample so good, like, and he makes an instrumental for Black Star, Talib Kweli and Mos Def, or aka Yaslin Bey, and it's on Hurricane Carter's soundtrack. Sorry, I'm nerding out.
This is great. I like it. This is why we're here.
So, and that track is just the track is called Little Brother. Amazing. When you listen to the original and you can hear the vibe, but it's most definitely not the same. Not the same.
That's the genius of it, isn't it? That's the genius of it. And what was it? I don't think it was recently that it came up, but like the whole Daft Punk thing about how like their tracks are just like you were saying about the P. Diddy. Like
that's what I'm gonna say.
he pays for an Earth, Wind & Fire song. He's thinking, well, fuck, I've paid X amount of money for it. I'm going to use the whole fucking song. Yeah. Daft Punk, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Daft Punk.
Much respect.
I think they're
the last album is trash though.
Pioneers. The last album is what was that? The
fucking trash. I'm sorry.
Which one was that called?
Ram.
That one was terrible. There was one or two songs. I'll tell you what, actually. The reason there's a song on Discovery with Todd Edwards.
Oh my God, you're reading my fucking mind.
Face to Face.
That track is just so fucking good.
That is incredible.
For the first time I heard that track, so long story short, I started listening to UK Garage and all that shit back in 98, 99 in Spain, watching MTV Base.
That's the peak era.
Trevor Nelson.
97 to 99, 2000. That's the peak.
That's the peak. UKG. Yeah. So mind you, I'm in a French school in Madrid, going to school like, yo, have you listened to Mo Fry and Crew and shit? And everybody's looking at me like, what? I was listening to Craig David before he did his first album, nice. With Artful Dodger track and all shit.
Rewind.
The whole into select. Anyway, so the whole thing is that years later, I listened to this track and I'm like, I know who the fuck this is. This is way before we had internet so readily, like so available. Internet was so available, so we couldn't like just Google shit that fast. But you would listen to that shit and be like, this is Todd Edwards. This must be Todd. I know someone.
Very distinctive sound,
Exactly.
yeah. But the thing is, like that face-to-face track on Discovery is outrageously good. In fact, I only listened to it very, very recently, and it's instantly my favourite Daft Punk track. But then if you listen, he features on that Ram album as well, and that track is toilet.
Yo, I was so wow.
It was so bad. I remember looking at it thinking, shit, Todd Edwards is on the Daft Punk album. And
let me tell you why I'm so mad about this album. And because we were waiting so fucking long for that album.
Yeah.
And then motherfuckers were dropping fake tracks on YouTube. I hate you, motherfuckers, but those tracks were pretty good. No, I'm not gonna lie. So there was like snippet, but there was fake snippets of what were supposed to be the next album, and you could hear the same vibe. It was Discovery too.
That's not good.
And then
it was lazy, wasn't it?
They fucking dropped the fucking playlist with all the features, and I was like, oh shit, this is up. I was hyping that shit up on Facebook. Yeah, it was still Facebook.
Who was the other guy on there? Panda Bear, the guy Panda Bear from Animal Collective. That, to be fair, that's the one song I think that I liked on that Random Access Memory album, the one with Panda Bear. But the thing I was going to say about Daft Punk though, they're older tracks. Like they all sound great, but they're all samples from 1970s kind of disco funk tracks, and if you listen to the originals, they've done nothing to it. They've maybe beefed up the kick and
we're talking about Discovery.
Daft Punk. Well, I don't know but I think it might be Discovery and then maybe a couple of other albums as well.
Yeah,
maybe not the first one, because I think the first one there wasn't much. I remember. I don't think there's much sampling on the first one. I think there's a lot of just electronic stuff that they produced themselves, but then they started sampling a bit more towards like the second and third albums. I think. I mean, I'm not a huge Daft Punk expert, but I know that you can find YouTube videos where you go, right, here's the Daft Punk track, here's the sample,
there was whole
identical
compilations of music Daft Punk sample, and you would listen to that shit and be like, wait, what?
Yeah, so
what you just song. Fucking chopped the whole bit like this and just looped it and add drums. But again, smart. Just like
it's one of those things. It's like, you know, they found that song, because I'm not saying that because it's not hugely famous songs that they've sampled as per se. You know, it's not, you know, like Motown kind of like hits that they're sampling. It's, you know, they're still discovering these kind of tracks and think, it's, you know, we can sample that, but then they are sampling the whole thing.
Oh yeah, no, it's interesting for people, because I feel like it wasn't a moment in time where you could do that easily. Now everybody knows where to, like, who sampled. We talked about who sampled.
Yeah.
So you can easily know where they took what from what, so where, and I mean, back in the day, there was still this mystery where you were like, "Oh shit, this is genius. Where did you sample?" Like we would listen to radio. I mean, I remember recording cassettes of tracks that I would listen to on the radio, and be like, "But I've heard this shit before. Like, where did I? You know?" So it's not the same. It's
cassettes. Remembers cassettes? Sticking a bit of tape over the top.
Yeah.
So you could record over it.
Yeah.
That sort of shit. I was just going to say, like, I don't like the fact that we're shitting on Daft Punk, one of France's biggest exports.
I mean, listen,
whilst we're sat in France. Just totally shit on them.
No, it's not shitting on them, but it's disappointing.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
I mean, I still also remember back in the day when I was getting tracks from the internet, legally, of course.
Obviously.
and watching TV and trying to get those tracks. So I used to collect music anyway from back then, like downloading stuff legally again.
Obviously.
And I remember listening to Daft Punk, the remix by the Neptunes, which was crazy to me because it sounded so good. I don't know if you remember that
Neptune's remix of a Daft Punk track.
So there was this, after Discovery, they dropped Daft Club. Daft Club has, check this out, a remix by Neptunes. I think, what's his name? Who's a piano keyboardist? Pretty famous.
Herbie Hancock?
No, white guy, looks. He's on Ram, I think. Anyway,
okay.
Lots of remix. There's the Slum Village remix.
Ooh, nice.
Quote unquote, supposedly sample. It was produced by Jay Dilla, but apparently it was really produced by Kareem Riggins. he told me himself on the internet.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know, I was on this, you know me. If you follow me on Instagram, I just go on. I'll start posting a lot of music.
We're gonna put Moose's Instagram tag handle, whatever you want to call it.
Both of them,
just under there.
So yeah, so I will put like put music, and everybody will like, oh shit, I didn't know this, and I was putting like little facts, just like remember pop-up video on MTV. You had like little bubbles with like trivia about the video and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stuff like
that is extremely 90s.
Yeah.
Wow, that is go back a bit. Jesus,
that ages a little bit, yeah. But so yeah, and then so I tagged I don't know who I tagged, and then Korean Riggins messaged me and was like, "No, I actually did the whole shit myself," and I was like, "Oh, didn't know that."
Nice.
You know.
Okay, well, we're going to have to wrap that up now, I think, because I'm worried that we're going to run out of video on the phone. But thank you very much for coming down, Moose. I hope this is the first of many.
Well, listen, yeah, for sure.
This is a brand new pubcast, coming from not live, coming from Seven Sisters, a little pub inside the heart of Toulouse, southeast of France. Sorry, no. Southwest. It is a southwest of France. I was correct to begin with.
South of France.
But yeah, thank you very much for coming down, Moose.
Thank you for having me.
It is always a pleasure to chat music with you. And yeah, we'll hopefully have you back on again. Like, subscribe, do all that jazz on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. I'll put all of the things on the screen at the bottom there.
And come down to the Seven Sisters.
Come down Seven Sisters.
And grab we'll see you. Unlabeled...
Grab a Brooklyn Nugget. I'll finish mine. It's too delicious. But thanks, guys. See you soon.
Cheers.